Throughout the annals of warfare, certain names rise above the rest. Commanders whose brilliance on the battlefield and flawless records have become the stuff of legend. Imagine leading armies into the chaos of war time and again, and never once tasting defeat. Today, we journey through history to meet 5 military geniuses who never lost a single battle. Their stories are not just tales of conquest, but of strategy, adaptability, and unyielding resolve. Before we dive deep, let's set the stage. War has always been unpredictable. Even the greatest leaders, Napoleon, Caesar, Hannibal, have faced setbacks and defeats. Yet a rare few have managed to navigate the shifting tides of conflict without a single loss. Their campaigns span continents and centuries, from the ancient Mediterranean to the windswept steppes of Asia and the stormy seas of East Asia. Each one mastered the art of war in their own unique way, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire military minds today. Let's begin with Alexander the Great, the Macedonian king whose name is synonymous with conquest. Ascending the throne at just 20, Alexander inherited his father's disciplined army and set his sights on the Persian Empire, the largest the world had ever seen. Over the course of 11 years, he led his men from Greece to Egypt, through Persia and into the heart of India. What set Alexander apart was not just his ambition, but his tactical genius. At the Battle of Gaugamela, vastly outnumbered, he used a combination of feigned retreats and rapid cavalry maneuvers to shatter Darius III's forces. His ability to adapt, whether facing heavy infantry, war elephants, or unfamiliar terrain, was unparalleled. Alexander's record speaks for itself. Undefeated in battle, Basit. He carved out an empire stretching over 3,000 miles, forever changing the map of the ancient world. Next, we turn to Khalid ibn al-Walid, known as the Sword of Allah. Born into the powerful Quraysh tribe of Arabia, Khalid initially opposed the rise of Islam, but after his conversion he became its most formidable general. His campaigns were marked by astonishing speed and audacity. At the Battle of Mu'tah, facing a Byzantine army many times larger than his own, Khalid executed a masterful retreat, preserving his forces against overwhelming odds. In the Ridda Wars, he crushed rebellion after rebellion, uniting Arabia under a single banner. His crowning achievement came at Yarmouk, where he led a vastly outnumbered Muslim army to a decisive victory against the Byzantines, opening the gates to Syria. Khalid's perfect record, never defeated in over 100 battles, was built on adaptability, relentless energy, and a deep understanding of both his troops and his enemies. From the deserts of Arabia, we move to the windswept steppes of Asia and the story of Subutai, chief strategist of the Mongol Empire. While Genghis Khan is often remembered as the face of Mongol conquest, it was Subutai's mind that orchestrated many of their greatest victories. A master of mobility and deception, Subutai could command armies separated by hundreds of miles, coordinating simultaneous attacks that bewildered his foes. At the Battle of the Kalka River, he lured a coalition of Russian princes into a deadly trap, annihilating their forces. Later in the invasion of Hungary, Subutai's forces crossed rivers thought impassable, striking with speed and precision. His campaigns covered more territory than those of any other commander in history, from China to Eastern Europe, and he never lost a single battle. Subutai's brilliance lay in his ability to read the battlefield, anticipate enemy movements, and strike where least expected. Shifting from land to sea, we meet Yi Sun-sin, the Korean admiral whose naval genius saved his nation. In the late 16th century, Korea faced invasion by Japan's formidable samurai armies. Outnumbered and outgunned, Yi Sun-sin turned to innovation. He designed the famed Turtle Ship, an armored warship bristling with cannons, capable of withstanding enemy arrows and ramming through enemy lines. At the Battle of Myeongnyang, with just 13 ships against over 300 Japanese vessels, Yi exploited the treacherous currents and narrow straits to devastating effect, sinking dozens of enemy ships and forcing the rest to flee. Over the course of 23 naval engagements, Yi Sun-sin never lost a single ship or battle. His leadership, ingenuity, and indomitable spirit became a beacon of hope for his people and a nightmare for his foes. Finally, we arrive in ancient Rome. where Scipio Africanus earned his place among the immortals. During the Second Punic War, Rome faced its greatest threat in the Carthaginian general Hannibal, who had devastated the Roman legions in battle after battle. Yet it was Scipio who turned the tide. Appointed at a young age, Scipio revitalized the Roman army, introducing new tactics and training. He learned from Hannibal's own methods, employing flexibility and surprise. In Spain, he captured key cities and shattered Carthaginian forces. But his greatest triumph came at Zama, where he faced Hannibal himself. Using a combination of cavalry maneuvers and disciplined infantry, Scipio broke the Carthaginian lines and forced a peace that ended the war. Never defeated in battle, Scipio's legacy was not just in victory, but in his ability to adapt, innovate, and inspire. The impact of these 5 commanders stretches far beyond their own lifetimes. Alexander's conquests spread Greek culture and ideas across 3 continents, shaping the foundations of Western civilization. Khalid ibn al-Walid's campaigns unified Arabia and laid the groundwork for the rapid expansion of Islam. Subu'tai's strategies influenced generations of military leaders, from Eastern Europe to the Far East. Yi Sun Sin's defense of Korea preserved his nation's independence and became a symbol of resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. Scipio Africanus saved Rome from destruction, ensuring the rise of an empire that would dominate the Mediterranean for centuries. What unites these legends is not just their perfect records, but their relentless pursuit of excellence, their willingness to adapt, and their deep understanding of both their own strengths and their enemies' weaknesses. Their stories remind us that true genius lies not in brute force, but in vision, creativity, and the courage to lead when the stakes are highest. As you reflect on these undefeated commanders, consider what lessons their lives hold for you, whether in leadership, strategy, or the pursuit of your own goals. History is shaped by those who dare to think differently and act boldly. Which of these military geniuses inspires you the most? Let their stories fuel your own journey toward greatness.